Hello and welcome to Bay One. This is Jafar Maraxi, and for the next tutorial we're going to be doing a Tier 3 Caterpillar tank. Now I don't have any kind of preset design for this. I'm just going to be building it from scratch. I've never actually built a Tier 3 Caterpillar tank, so this will be a learning experience for everyone involved. Now, I even need to go so far as to unlock the treads. So the treads are 20 TP at tier 3. The reason for using these, and it's a very tempting reason for a lot of people, is that they have a lot of armor. So you look at these and you're looking at, okay, that's 1,484 armor compared to a tier 3 wheel, which where's a tier 3 wheel? You're looking at 407 armor for a tier 3 wheel. So you've got over 3.5 times the armor. And you only need 2 of these, so 2 of these would set you back, not that much really. 2 of these in total would have 3,000 armor or close to it. And for wheels to work you need 4 of those, so even with 4 wheels you would be only having 1,600 armor on the 4 wheels as opposed to 3,000 just for 2 treads. It sounds like it's an obvious choice to make. The caveat with treads is they are extremely heavy. They're also extremely slow. You're going to be limited in terms of using thrusters or anything like that to speed your design up. But yeah, the only thing they do work with are skis, which you're not going to be able to get skis at low tiers, and also using spider legs. But of course legs are only available from tier 7 up. So yeah, let's just go and get to building here. So let's go and unlock these. And of course I need to go and buy them. I'm just going to buy 2 for now, and we'll see what we can make from this. I'm probably going to stick with almost a standard wedge type build. Of course we're doing tier 3. So let's assume you've just got to tier 3, you've got your caterpillar treads, and maybe you've just earned enough to get some tier 3 cubes. So let's use tier 3 cubes here as well. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is actually build an attachment point which is 3 wide. This is so that we can actually have these treads connected on. And it's automatically setting them so that the mount point there is to the outside. I'm not sure if I really like that, but we'll stick with that for now. But I don't like having, if I was to put my pilot seat directly on here, I'm not really going to like having that directly connected to where all this stuff is coming from. So what I'm going to want to do is build a tray and have my pilot seat actually just below. This way it also limits the impact that plasma can have and stuff like that. So yeah, let's build this tray up. Because this is where you really start also needing to worry about plasma, because plasma have essentially just become a viable option for a lot of players, so you're going to see a fair amount of that being used in the playfield or in the field of battle. I'm going to actually flip this block around so that it's not actually directly connected to the front there, or to the back. And this one actually needs to be flipped around as well so that it is connected to something, because that's where the pilot seat is actually going. So let's get the seat, which is there. And now you can see obviously stuff's not connected up, so let's take care of this. And you can ask, why am I using prisms? Well, it's actually out of habit, and it's also easier to manage damage flow and exactly where stuff goes. So yeah, let's just continue. I'm going to build out one more there, like so. Actually, this one will need to be inverted eventually, so let's just go ahead and take care of that now. And we'll do the same thing here. So have those prisms pointing outwards like that. And I am actually going to put some thrusters on here as well, so that in the event that I do lose these outer tractors, I've still got a way to move. And yeah, so I'll show you just how I'm doing that. I'm going to use these inner cubes. I think they might be a little bit more expensive, but I don't know. I just get used to doing weight management in all of my designs. So it kind of becomes habit. And then I'm going to put on a couple of tier 2 thrusters. So yeah, they won't help with speed at all. But they should be usable at some point. Alright, I'm just going to make sure that stays connected on. And let's make sure this actually moves, because you look that there's no ground clearance here. So we need to make sure that we can actually have the tray down that low. So let's go and practice. And make sure the bot is able to travel. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. It's also going to be near impossible to flip once we got the rest of the stuff on here. Wow, this is really tweaky to actually maneuver. Yeah, oh, I almost managed to flip it, I didn't. Okay, so back to mothership and continue building. Now I may want to consider actually moving these forwards a little bit. That way we could potentially put some more treads on the back. Yeah, let's actually go ahead and do that. I want a little bit more redundancy on the actual control. So I'm going to need to buy 2 more treads. Not treads, 2 more cats, as we call them. And I'm also going to need a lot more blocks here, so let's go and buy... I can't buy any more inners because I don't have enough RP. Alright, so... First thing is going to be getting the cats. So 1, 2... And then let's go and get these. Yeah, we'll have to make this work with what we have to hand. So let's buy all of those. And if we're doing this, we're also going to want to move the front ones forward another step. And this way, again, it limits even further the direct connections to your pilot seat. So you've got these 2 big ass shields on the side. It's going to make it really hard to actually take out this section. And then we have these in for redundancy, and it's also going to make it a lot more stable and harder just to destroy the bot in total. So let's go, just going to use some normal chassis blocks here, some don't need to worry about weight, because quite honestly if they get to this point you're probably dead anyway. And I'm not worrying about... Actually, at that point, I will need to start worrying about triforcing. So, and for those that don't know, triforcing, there's a lot of different ways that people call triforcing, but essentially it's a combination of managing damage routing and It's just an advanced build technique, I guess. Ooh, how am I going to be able to do this on this design? I'm going to need the connection points on the top, definitely, and it's going to be a little bit tricky. Don't have any of those. I've only got a limited number of tetras because they're being used on other designs on this account. So we're going to have to kind of muddle through here. Essentially what this is, it's a shield that goes on the front here. The damage from it shouldn't transmit directly to anything behind. Although obviously you've got these two connection points here, so damage is going to go to here and then be transmitted back. If we wanted to get a lot more technical, we could improve that by saying, hey, I want that to not be connected to the front section. Let's put that one back on there. It's, yeah, in essence, it's just an advanced technique of routing damage around your design. Anyway, so yeah, let's grab some more. Let's just go with the normal ones here, because I'm not too concerned about this, to be honest. It's just going to take forever to build otherwise. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I'm not actually going to mount the weapons directly to this, because these are acting as shields primarily. So the weapon mounts are actually going to be spurred off from here, and we want to make sure the back weapons are actually higher than the front weapons. So the front weapons are going to be roughly on level with this. And to be able to do that, we're going to need to we need to make sure there's not going to be any collision issues preventing the tracks from gripping. So we can't actually try force that close. We're going to have to do this a little bit differently. Yeah, screw it. I'm not going to worry about all that kind of stuff. We'll do it on maybe on the top layer where we actually need to worry more about advanced damage management, but it's too much effort, to be honest. I'm getting lazy. Right, so we'll want to have that connected there, and essentially so that damage to these blocks doesn't get transmitted there, which is to the actual connection point, we will have these routed a little bit oddly. Blue, 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 blue. And these are probably going to be the front two weapon mounts anyway. I don't like that. That looks odd to me. Okay, let's assume the guns are actually going to be mounted to this block. What I want to do is, let's take that off and use these as the actual primary points for mounting those. And that way we should be able to, that's better. And that way we can put a layer of armor in front here, a layer in front there. These won't be connected to that block, so let's pull that off there. Okay. That's a little bit better. And we can do the same on that block. And then what are we actually going to put on here? We're going to put on tier 3 SMGs, except I don't have any on this design here. Let's check what I've got on my other builds here. Those have got plasma. I've got two tier 3 SMGs on here. Let's pull those ones and go back. And if you didn't watch the previous video where I built a tier 2 hover, that's what that was that you just saw, where I just pulled these SMGs from. So yeah, so we've got 1, 2 on the front. And now to prevent stuff from actually blocking weapons fire, the next rank of guns behind this is actually going to need to be a step up. So what we'll do here is let's convert those into prisms. I'm going to have those mounted off a little spur in the center here, I think. Yeah. I want to make sure we got multiple connection points down just to make it nice and solid. And then obviously we got to build a platform. And I'm out of blocks, so I need to switch to using these. And then the actual turret mount is going to be about here. Can we fit that on? Yes, we can. Okay, so then we want to have that there. We're almost out of the appropriate blocks, and now this is a little bit of weight management. It doesn't matter because it's tracks, but it's just habit. But the problem we're going to have, kind of, is that we need to be able to bring this entire stream out here so that we can have the additional anchor points. And we're kind of limited on blocks. Come on. We'll use one of those in the center. It doesn't matter about having the connection point behind, because to be honest, if they're dealing damage this direction, your pilot seat's already pretty much dead. It really is not a concern. Alright, yeah, let's use the T3 inners like so. Let's bring these across. And then I think it's going to need to come across one more before we can actually mount a gun. Oh no, we can mount a gun there. That's interesting. Huh. Okay. Going to be a pretty dense layout then. So these are tier 3s. Alright. And because I'm pretty low on the actual... I can't do that. Want to have the harder armor towards the outside here, kind of. Yeah, I don't want those blocks mounted like that because it's going to transmit the damage backwards. So we need to make sure that when we put these blocks on, they're mounted towards the front, like so. And we'll connect those up in a minute. I'm going to have to use these ones to get the placement right. Alright, and then, yeah, again. I don't want to have this outer block connected to there, so we'll just make sure these are connected as such. Because if we connected that outer block here, again it's a route for damage to travel straight back into the actual gun turret. We want to preserve those if possible. And then the next rank of guns behind this is going to have to go another tier of blocks up. But for an initial build, this would actually get us started at tier 3. How many more of these do I have? Oh, I've got plenty. So I can put on another rank of 2 guns behind this. How am I doing for blocks? I need lots, but I'm just going to fill this out with inners for now. and that's where it connects down onto the main frame. Let's take that one off, and again fill it out. Yeah, I know, I'm out of blocks, whatever. So more inners, and so we were having to do these separated by 2, so it'd be the next set of inners would actually be mounted on these, or the next set of guns would be mounted on these, and yeah, that's rather fortunate actually. Pardon me, sorry. They need to be spaced apart this far. There we go. And if I was getting really conscientious, then I would be triforcing all of this, which of course it should be triforced anyway. Yeah. Come on. Let's do that. Can't do anything there except have a block going up. Yeah, so we're going to be protecting the blocks that actually route up to here. So we need to get rid of that block, we need to get rid of that block. We can actually use an inner on that section here, because it's going to be transmitting damage across that way. I don't like this. That looks a bit prettier, at least. But we still need to have the same turret kind of effect. So how are we going to manage that? Let's have... just to make sure we got some connection point redundancy there. And one behind, another one behind like so. And then we can actually start connecting the turret protection points from these. Although we don't want it connected to that one. How am I going to do that? Okay. Do it something like this. Yeah, we're going to need to build this on first. And then, yeah, we're going to need an inner there. Going to want an inner here as well. There we go. Let's restore that connection. Restore this one. How are we doing on CPU? So we're at 470, 400 odd CPU at the moment. Not close to our limit yet, so we're good. What am I doing here? Making this build difficult, that's what I'm doing. Okay, I'm just going to put that in like so and have a block like that. And then of course there will be another tier of guns that goes on behind this, but for now I'm actually going to have to... well, how many blocks do I have available? I'm going to have to earn some RP at some point. Yeah. It doesn't matter if that goes down there, because that's not connected directly to the pilot seat. But the pilot seat is pretty much cocooned inside all of that mess. If we want to reinforce these, we can. We just need to put in some prisms underneath. Don't have any tetras. tetras would fit in there, so can I buy any? No, I'm going to have to play a couple of games just so that I can earn some tetras. So let's just do a test with this. I don't have any radar either. Okay, and see how it actually battles, and see if I can earn some RP and get on with the build a little bit more. Great, against a tier 8 to start with. This can't possibly go wrong. We cannot fail. I just noticed we got a big gap in the front there. You look down between those two front turret wells. Yeah, we need to put some blocks in down there or something. Yay, I got the kill. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha. Oh, that was funny. Whee! 4,000 RP. Yeah, it is a lot of triforcing, but that's what effective, this is what G3 for all says. Yeah, it is a lot of triforcing, but this is really what's required if you want to not be competitive at a high level, but if you want to know how the higher tier players do it. Yeah, so now we've just earned a load of RP. Let's go and buy 10 more of those. Yeah, just buy inners. Can I get some more of these? Do I want more tetras or do I want more prisms? I need prisms. Yeah, there we go. We'll buy those. And what I'm going to do here is... because I think I fucked up on the build just a little bit. Oh well, you live and learn anyway. Again, this is going to be another layer of triforcing that goes on here. There we go. So it doesn't interrupt the fire arcs there, that doesn't interrupt the fire arcs, again it doesn't interrupt the fire arcs, so now we've got to build the next set of turrets at the back here. Actually no, I wanted to keep that as a slope in there, that's why it was in there to start with. And then build up from these blocks. There we go. And that's going to be the anchor point for this set. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to do, of course, was add on the little tetras that go on there. While we can still see. And what blocks can we actually fit in those? We can't fit those in, but we can fit prisms. So let's get the prisms on there. And now we should be able to fit the inners. There we go. But if we wanted to get really picky, this again is where we would actually do more triforcing, so we'd actually have those. So all of that damage is actually routed up a level. Which that's exactly what I'm going to do, because we don't want to have the damage transmitting to the inner turrets. but of course I'm out of CPU or out of blocks already, so we're going to be doing this with the green ones. And we could be using tetras in here as well, which we'll get to that at some point. But yeah, anyway, so let's again Triforce the hell out of that. So we used some of these, and then it was Triforce. There we go. And might as well do that for these. Not use tetras, we'll just use prisms. It's a tank, it's supposed to be heavily armoured. Yeah, and as Ionize says, it definitely gives you an advantage against non-Triforce tanks. So yeah, we've got to bring this across. Again, we're not going to connect to these points, we really don't want to, because it just creates a vulnerable point on your bot. God. I like symmetry. I wish there was a way to build symmetry, because it gets frustrating trying to get everything placed exactly right. And these, oh, they do fit. Cool. And then, of course, this is going to be some form of triforcing involved here. So let's realize that we don't have enough blocks again. Yep. Prisms. More prisms. Alright, bloop bloop bloop, what are we doing? How am I even going to connect this block on? I have to pull that one out like so, and then re-triforce that. There we go. There we go. And then that's going to have to be connected like so. Yeah, extremely complex build. Which is why it's going to take forever to complete it. I'm not sure if I really want to keep this as just a normal prism there. Yeah, I'm going to put that as an inner. I have a feeling I'm going to want that as an inner. Don't know why, can't explain why, but I just do. You still need to have adequate connection points from the outside to make sure that you don't get all of your armor blown off in one shot. So, because if they're lucky and they hit the connection point, you lose everything, which sucks. Yeah, so I'm going to make that into another inner. Into another inner there. Actually, did I buy more inners? Yes, I did. Why am I using those inners? Blah. Okay, and this is where probably the last rank of guns, but we don't want to have. We want these to be properly triforced on the back, so we pretty much have to reverse what we've been doing in terms of damage management. So these blocks need to be facing like so. And this is literally just spacing armor. It's not real full triforcing, but whatever. Do I want that like that? No, I want the flat section to the bank. Okay. What am I doing? There we go. Yeah, it's been ages since I built any kind of real tank for low tiers. I've probably made so many mistakes on this, it's unreal. But anyway, let's continue. Yep. So continue building the turrets. And usually at this point I would be worrying about doing weight management on the top, but we don't need to because the tracks or the treads are so damn heavy. You'll actually be wasting a lot of time trying to get that to work. So yeah, that's why I'm just not worrying about doing that kind of stuff on this. Yeah, basically if this thing gets flipped, then, well, you're kind of screwed. Boohoo, start, game over, start again. Down point there is that this has nothing that it's connected to until I put in these. And then of course this layer here. I'm out of blocks. No! Need more blocks. Need more blocks. Boo. Alright, I guess I'm gonna have to play another game so that I can get more blocks. And let's do it on the ranked battle, because that's just intelligent. Obviously, if you had lots of CPU already, you'd be building this entire design using the tier 3 armor, but I'm just using a blend because I don't, well, not CPU, RP, because I don't have enough RP. So yeah, that's why I'm ending up building this monstrosity. And watch me get one shot now. Can I go up here? Nope. He can. Let's go down into the valley where everyone can shoot me.
SMG hover spotted.
Okay, there's an SMG hover in the distance there. Let's see if we can take him out. It looks like we've got some plasma dudes around as well. Wow, he's taken out a lot of my bot there. Ah. Control. Yay, level 32. And now jump offs to get away from that damn railgunner. My pilot seat is a little bit exposed, but not quite dangerously so. I don't really want to take much more damage to that section, so in reality what I should be doing, instead of going forward like this, I should be going backwards. So that if I run into any enemies, I've got some armor between them and me. But I'm lazy. And I want to maximize my firepower anyway. And quite honestly, I'm happy with the 2 kills that I just got. Whee! And I haven't even put any outside armor on this yet. Which there will be a layer of armor that actually goes around the tracks to absorb some of that damage. Prevents them from being taken out just quite so easily. So long as CPU allows, of course. And another thing, you're at tier 3, it's very tempting to use electroplate and waste money and CPU on the electroplate. Don't. Unless you're primarily planning on fighting from range, it's not really worth it. So if you're going to be like a ranged plasma or a railgunner, then use electroplate. But for a close-up combat vehicle like this, you really don't want to waste your RP on electroplate, because the hit points it gives you is not worth it. Unless you're seriously over tiering, or under tiering, in which case you're using high tier electroplate in low tier games. It's not effective, so just don't waste money on it. Anyway, so I now need to get some more blocks and shit. Why did I believe I didn't have any blocks? Apparently I do. Oh, I didn't have any of these thingies, that's right. Okay, let's buy some more of these. Yeah, 10 of those. Won't be a lot, but it's better than nothing. It enables me to do stuff like this. Come on. There we go. And again, out of blocks there, I'm just gonna stick these things on for now, because I just need armor. But all of this should really be triforced with banks of the prisms there. Yeah. I'll just stick that like that. Make sure so it doesn't show, so it looks more symmetrical at least. And I definitely need to fix this issue here. Okay, let's use the inners to at least try. That way I've got something that's better than nothing. I also need to put a radar on here, which I don't have a radar yet. I'm still well under tier 3. I've got plenty of space to go with this design. So let's use some of these brown blocks here. See how much we can add on in terms of hit points. Just going to build a string front to back like that. Actually no, we're a fair enough amount of CPU here. I think 600 is pretty reasonable. Ideally these towers would be finished off, so let's just concentrate on earning some RP here so that I can finish off those towers as they're supposed to be, and you've got a finalized design. Unless, of course, we end up with another boss battle. Yay. And I'm right at the front, which means I'm going to be the first one targeted. Great.
Interceptor spotted.
Yay!
Interceptor spotted.
Alright, not sticking around for that, it's no point. Another back game. Am I being suicidal with going on ahead? Yes, I am. Of course, if you wanted to put higher tier guns on this, you could fit probably the tier 4 SMGs, but to fit tier 5s on this, you would actually need to build the steps back a little bit further. So there'd need to be additional block spacing. So this will work for tier 4, but you want to try taking it to tier 5, you'd need to rebuild the top triforcing. Alright, something took out one of my... It's done. So I lost the tread, but I'm still stable. Oh, I see, we've got a dude over there. Gone. Another one. No, let's not let the SMG kill me. Yeah. Well, that was my bad play there that ended up with me getting killed. I shouldn't have got so cocky and tried taking that dude out. Either way, we might win this just on hero bonus. We'll see. Yeah, so long as no one actually deals any damage, we got this. Yay! Okay. So I should at least get a hero bonus on that. Let's see how much I come. $588 and $888, $886 for the hero bonus. What? Okay, whatever. I'm not going to argue. So yeah, some more of the prisms. Let's spend all of that on prisms. I mean, I could get tier 4 armor here, but this is supposed to be a tier 3 design, so I'm not going to. So now let's change those out for what they're supposed to free. The main critical, to be honest, Triforcing, a lot of the times it really isn't worth doing it, especially when you're coming up against heavy plasma builds. Except for your weapon mounts, that's the only thing you really need to worry about doing Triforcing on, or at least in my experience. You can do all of this effort otherwise, and you can just waste a lot of time trying to build it. Yeah, it's got limited utility outside of defending hard points on your vehicles. Yeah, okay, that's why I needed the thingies. I forgot about those. Alright, let's get those turrets there finished. So these are my critical turrets, more or less. Okay, and then we'll do the same on these turrets. Of course, it's still going to keep us well within tier. Nope, I'm out of blocks. Another battle, and we should have a little bit more armor to play with. I'm going to go straight for the mushrooms. But yeah, anyway, this design should work up to high tier 4, even with the tier 3 treads. I probably should have stayed up the top there so that I would have chance to shoot other things coming in, but oh well. Bit late now. And I still need to put the radar on the back, yeah, thanks for reminding me. You're wasting all your time running around instead of just fighting. Oh, almost managed to tilt myself over. That's weird. Alright, I need to go and help these dudes over here. Whee! Yep. It needs me a radar. You're getting in my way here, dude. Did you already kill that dude? No, 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 he's up there. There we go. And I've lost my turning capability now. Great. Yeah. And that's the problem with using treads, is you lose a lot of capability if they get destroyed. So, yeah, don't know if my team's even going to win this game. What I'd want to do to improve this design is to build another layer of armor that just goes around the outside here, not actually have it connect onto these points. Just so that we've got some way to help protect the treads, because if you lose them all along one side, it kind of cripples you a lot. Anyway, what was I doing here? I was up to 624 CPU, and oh yeah, I just earned some more RP, so I need to put some more of these, buy some more of these blocks. Only 5, better than nothing. And then, yep, we want these ones as so. We want to actually make that into a slightly more resilient gun mount point, so just put those onto T3s. Also still need to buy a radar. Man, keep forgetting. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is, because of these tracks keep getting destroyed, we're going to try and put on that shield of armor that I was talking about. So we're going to frame it with the white blocks. After all, we're supposed to be a tank. So alright, and what we're going to do here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Same on the other side, we want it actually 10 in length. It needs to be brought forward one more on the rear end as well, or the other side. And then we'll just use the inners here. But see what I mean by I don't want to connect it to these points? That's exactly what we're not going to do. I only have the brown blocks here, so I'm going to have to use those. Let's get those on to start with. Because by having it connected to those, damage from the outside gets transmitted to the treads. That's not what we want. And then I'm going to actually have not that block. I'm going to be forced to put this connected like so. What am I doing? Okay, and then we'll have need one more of those. Annoying. A brown one will do for now. 1, 2, 1, 2, and anything from here would of course be mounted in the opposite direction. And this should hopefully just add a little bit more protection to those tracks, because that is a problem in terms of being losing capability. So And yeah, I'm just going to use the brown blocks here. I've still got CPU to spare. But this is something you'd want to do as more of an advanced update on the design anyway, so you wouldn't necessarily have the CPU to be able to do this initially. But it would just help to shield those a little bit more. Yeah, see, part of what the problem is, the damage from all of this triforcing is actually being transmitted down into the tracks, which isn't really a good thing. Anyway, let's try with the upgraded version. And attention chaos, hello. Grey against another tier 8. Ah.
SMG.
Yeah, that wasn't going to last long. No amount of Triforce is going to help against tier 8 SMGs at that low tier, considering I don't really have... I would need tier 4 armor really to be able to withstand that. I'm not quite to that point. Come on. Hopefully this won't be a boss battle this time round. And I still need to get that radar on the back. Where is all the robots? Are the robots that I should be fighting?
SMG tank spotted.
Where has they gone? Oopsies, there's hiding back here. Okay. One down. Boom. Yeah, that's my dumbass for getting straight on top of him. Right when my vulnerable point is, which is the pilot seat, of course. Maybe, just maybe, I will have enough to get that radar. Come on. There we go. So yeah, this is more or less, you know, other than the obvious upgrades where you can continue building the skirt around and then put in another layer of armor on the top here and all that kind of stuff, this is more or less the complete tank. Yeah, there's a lot you can do to tweak it, upgrade it, change the weapons out, whatever. If you wanted to make it a higher tier, or use like tier 5 weapons, you would need to move all of these turrets back a level. You could probably just about still squeeze them all on there. But yeah, that's more or less the SMG Caterpillar tank, which I made up out of nowhere because I didn't know what I was doing. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Goodbye.